We're joined by Monica Wright, who is the financial officer with the Caddo Council on Aging. Good morning to you.
Good morning.
There's a panic going across the nation with regard to budget cuts from the federal government that would cut programs like your Meals on Wheels program. I know Austin, Texas is real worried about it, Dallas. There's a little bit of an issue that you need to explain, that the program here in Caddo Parish, the money you get from the federal government comes out of a different pot, and that pot is not the one being cut. Is that accurate?
That is right.
Explain that.
Our funding is received from the Department of Health and Human Services. It's administered by the Administration on Aging, and it's called Older American Act Funds.
And your money from the Older American Acts right now looks to be secure for the moment, right?
Yes, it does.
Okay, and money for other programs that are getting money is coming from the Community Development Block Grant funding, which is being cut.
Yes.
How much do you guys get from the federal government? How dependent are you on federal funding?
We're very dependent on it. We get 60% of funding from the federal government.
I want to talk to you about something that Mary Alice Roundtree and I were discussing yesterday that people don't realize. The baby boomers are now starting to age and retire and need a little help. Most of us, when we get to that point, we want to stay in our homes. We don't want to go to any kind of facility. Describe for our listeners, because this is going to be a huge population in coming years, describe for our listeners what kind of services you provide for folks in their home and what that costs, as opposed to if we don't have those services available, how much it costs to put these folks in long-term care.
We have in-home services such as Meals on Wheels, which everybody knows about right now. There's a lot of talk about it. We depend heavily on the funding from the federal government for these funds. It costs $5 to feed one senior one meal, $25 per week, $1,250 for a year. We also have homemaker service, personal care services. There also is a program from the state called the Support Coordination Program that provides in-home services, but there's a waiting list for that program. Mary
Alice told me yesterday that it's about $1,000 a month to provide some of the personal care and the Meals on Wheels and some of the things that folks need in their homes. But if they don't have those services, their other option is long-term care, which is $5,000 a month. It seems silly that we wouldn't keep those in-home services available because it's way cheaper.
You're correct. It is cheaper to keep seniors in their home. Some seniors do require 24 hours care, but for the seniors that only require a couple of hours of in-home service per day, it makes sense, just like you said, to for Medicaid to kick in and pay for those in-home services through other programs. But right now, they're shifting all the money to the long-term care program.
Ms. Monica, are your services something that sort of cross economic lines? It's not something just for lower economic seniors, right?
No, it's not just for lower economic seniors. All seniors 60 years or older qualify for our services. We do an assessment of the senior to see exactly how much service they require. Our problem now is we don't have funds to provide services for all seniors in Caddo Parish.
How many do you serve?
We serve 1,200 meals per day. Our other in-home programs, we're limited to about 30 seniors per day just because of funding. We do a lot of fundraising. Most of our fundraising is for the Meals on Wheels program.
You just mentioned a moment ago that they seem to be shifting the focus to long-term care. When you say they, do you mean the federal government, the current administration? Because that's going to cost us a fortune, Monica, because we have probably our biggest generation of people getting ready to get in that direction.
Pardon me, but to add on to that, or do you mean the state because of the expanded Medicaid expansion by the governor?
No, the government as a whole, and it's not shifting. That's the way it's been. Everyone for a while just thought that the long-term care system was the best alternative for seniors in their care.
But that population is we're the baby boom generation. That population of folks needing long-term care is about to boom. How are we going to afford that?
The government needs to look at other alternatives, just like Mary Alice was telling you about, the support coordination programs for in-home care. It costs less to provide those services in-home, especially when the senior only needs a couple of hours of service.
And most of us want to stay in our home. I mean, isn't that what you guys hear?
Yes, they do. The seniors, they feel comfortable in their home. They have dignity when they age at home. They're independent. They just feel more comfortable at home in their own surroundings than they do in another facility.
Ms. Monica, if people want to become more familiar with the services you offer, you got a website and stuff people can look at, or if they want to make a small or not so small economic donation, what would they do?
They can look at our website, CaddoCouncilOnAging.org. They can call us 318-676-7900, or they may mail it to 1700 Buckner, Suite 240 in Shreveport.